And what's beautiful about the Bernie Sanders campaign is when I joined, no one told me, look, this issue of Palestine is really controversial. Try not to mention it too much. Maybe people don't need to know you're Palestinian American. Maybe you can just say you're an Arab American or a Muslim American. No one told me who to be. They told me you be who you want to be, who you think you are, and what you want to project. Bernie Sanders chose to put people like me, women in hijab, Palestinian American women, women who are attacked by the Islamophobes, attacked by the right-wing Zionists, and he put us front in his campaign.
We'd also like to thank the Palestinian American Community Center, PAC, for giving us this space this evening. Also in welcoming Ahlam Ijbara, who is the Muslim and Arab American Director for the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Assalamu alaikum. We have not had one presidential candidate who's ever put our issues at the forefront, such as Palestine, the anti-war issues that we all strongly believe in. But again, New Jersey, we need you to come out and vote on June 7th. I'm going to hand it over to our national surrogates, Amer, Zahr, our awesome comedian.
As you guys all know who have seen me maybe or heard me perform before, I'm Palestinian. I'm half Christian, half Muslim. I was doing an event for Bernie Sanders, for the Muslim community in Queens, in a synagogue, okay, to get a Jewish guy elected president of the United States. Yeah. So we are all together, all kinds of people. And this campaign, don't listen to people who tell you that he cannot win the nomination anymore. This is bull stuff. He can win the nomination. Don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't listen to CNN or MSNBC or especially Fox News. He can win the nomination, okay? Don't let anybody tell you anything different. He's going to catch up with Hillary Clinton hopefully on June 7th and get more pledged delegates than her. We don't need to get into the nerdy stuff about how it all works. But he can still win, and don't let anybody tell you anything different. Now, I want to tell you a story. You guys all know Linda from here in New York. I live in Michigan, Dearborn. Has anybody here ever been to Dearborn before? Yeah? Dearborn, that's like our Arab American capital, right? The Arab American Disneyland, for those of you who don't know. Are there any, by the way, clap if you're Arab. We have a lot of Arabs here. Okay, cool. Arab Americans. But I see some other people here too, cool. I see where are you from?
Pakistan.
Pakistan, okay, all right. Pakistan, Palestine, close, okay. All right, good. Any others? Yeah?
Vermont.
Oh, is there a white guy? Okay, white guy. White guy. I know there's a lot of white people. That's all white people. Okay, cool, wonderful. Man, that's awesome. Are there any Jews here tonight? It's okay. Yes? Yeah. Welcome to our party. In 2003, she voted for the Iraq War. Now she says it's a mistake. A long time later, when she was asked about it.
Like a million people got it.
Yes. Said it was a mistake. Now you would have hoped that she would have learned from that mistake. But when 2011 came around, she urged President Obama. We now know that she was the one pushing for President Obama to bomb Libya. And now look what happened in Libya. And you would have hoped that she would have learned from Iraq and Libya. And now we know that in 2013 she was pushing President Obama to bomb Syria. Now I know in our community there's a lot of differing views about Syria, and I understand that. But I do know this. I do know that we cannot have presidents anymore that just bomb our countries all the time. No matter what you think about Syria, no matter what you think about anything else. It just doesn't work out. Hillary Clinton has been running a campaign saying that she's going to bomb Syria. She's running that campaign. She calls it a no-fly zone. But that means war. She loves war. And Bernie Sanders has said, no more wars. That's it. We're done with this stuff. She wants to bomb our countries all the time. And now he's challenging her because he's speaking truth that people want to hear. And unfortunately, she's a weak candidate. Bernie still beats Donald Trump in every poll, and Hillary is losing to him. And it's really funny because Linda hears this all the time, and I hear it all the time, when they say to us, well, if Hillary wins the nomination, and I'm not ashamed to say it, they say, if Hillary wins the nomination and Bernie doesn't, and you support Bernie, you're just going to go vote for Hillary, right? No! No! Because morally I can't. And not only that, here's the funny thing, all right? Those of us, like Linda said, who are in the Bernie movement, We are the kind of people who we wouldn't be involved in another presidential election, right? It's not like we're Democrats and we like the Democratic Party and we would just support anybody who's a Democrat. No, we are supporting this candidate for certain moral reasons. And these are people who were not involved in presidential politics before. These are people who were not involved in the process before. And so Hillary Clinton is not losing these voters, right? These are new voters coming in. Yet she still says to us, you guys have to support me when I win. Do you know why she says that? And do you know why her supporters say that? Because they know that she could lose to Donald Trump. If you don't want Donald Trump to be president, the best thing to do is make sure that Bernie Sanders is the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. That is the way we beat Donald Trump. And so as Arab Americans, as Muslim Americans, as Palestinians especially, because Dr. Zughbi was, I think, being nice about it. When it comes down to it in July at the convention, Palestine is going to be front and center at the Democratic National Convention. There is going to be a philosophical fight over Palestine. And maybe it'll come out in our way, maybe it won't, but this is going to change the narrative of American presidential politics. This is going to put us back on the map. Listen, do you know why she voted for this Tata? Do you know why she voted for Bernie Sanders? This Tata voted for Bernie Sanders because her grandson and her nephews and her nieces told her, guess what, Tata? We're all getting in the car today and we're all voting for Bernie Sanders. And we did that in Dearborn. And guess what? It worked. And you can do the same thing over here. All right? Get everybody together on election day. Make it a fun day. Go down and you vote for Bernie Sanders.
My name is Linda Sarsour. For my day job, I am the executive director at the Arab American Association of New York. I'm also the co-founder of EmpowerChange.org. It's the first Muslim online organizing platform. I'm a racial justice activist. I try to ensure that our voices in our community is represented in any social justice issue, including getting involved in the democratic process. By the way, our opposition, they're not more than us in numbers. We are not outnumbered by the opposition. We are out-organized by the opposition. That's what. So Bernie Sanders, just so for people to know where I stand on Bernie Sanders is a tactic. I don't believe in one man that's going to save our community. I don't believe in one man that's going to free Palestine. I believe in a man who's giving us an opportunity to engage in his campaign and to put our issues at the forefront. Bernie Sanders didn't wake up one morning and become good on Palestine. That's not a natural opinion that people have. It requires us, sisters and brothers, to be part of the process in order to get people to be where we need them. So the fact that you have Dr. Zughbi on it, you also have Dr. Cornel West. Anybody know who Dr. Cornel? I couldn't even believe it. I literally saw that online, and I was on my cell phone, and I made it wide. I was like, because I have to see, because I must be seeing things with my eyes. Dr. Cornel West is one of the most pro-Palestinian intellectuals in this country. He not only is a pro-Palestinian social justice warrior, he is adamantly, publicly, unapologetically pro-BDS. That's the kind of guy that you have that is going to be representing our issue. So we don't have just Dr. Zughbi as an Arab American and as a pro-Palestinian activist. You have Dr. Cornel West. You also have Congressman Keith Ellison, who, as you know, many of you know, is absolutely a sympathizer with the Palestinians. As a matter of fact, he just came back from Palestine just a few days ago. So you have Congressman Keith Ellison. He also chose this woman named Deborah Parker. She's a Native American activist, very pro-Palestinian. She's a woman that understands the plight of an indigenous people. That's the kind of people that Bernie Sanders put on his campaign.
That Palestine could turn out to be a real, central, visible issue at the convention. Really quickly, what do you think about that, and what do you see happening?
We would like to reach a consensus. We'd like to go into the convention with a consensus view, because I think that there is a consensus view emerging in the Democratic Party on Palestine. It is different than the current view reflected in the platform. It does not wholeheartedly support everything that Israel does. It does not ignore justice for Palestinians. It wants to end the occupation. It wants to end settlements. It wants to produce a solution that speaks to the real needs of the people who are suffering from this conflict, and that is the Palestinians living under occupation. If we can find a consensus among ourselves as we go, we may not have to raise the issue at the platform at the convention. But if we do not reach a consensus, then Bernie has made it clear that this is an issue he cares deeply about. And so we'll go to the convention with it. It will depend on, number one, whether the other side is willing to come to an agreement, and number two, the extent to which Bernie Sanders feels that we have not gotten a fair shake and that we want to go forward to fight. And then he appointed me to the platform drafting committee, which of course raised a huge uproar by those who thought, oh my God, Bernie Sanders is serious about this issue, and he is serious about it. We now have a chance to support a presidential candidate who not only advocates for our issue, but has gone out on a limb and been the strongest advocate for that issue in decades, since Jesse Jackson.